Okay, so I've got this hand cranked dynamo powered gramophone back on the bench. In fact, it never left the bench really, and I wanted to show some improvements. And just to recap, there's a crank there that turns a motor to generate electricity, so it runs it as a dynamo or a generator, and that's connected to another motor here which actually drives the turntable. In a previous video I added this little regulator circuit, so this means that if I crank the generator too fast, then this will cut down the voltage that's been applied to the turntable motor so that the record doesn't turn too fast. So no matter how fast I crank it, the record shouldn't turn at more than 78 RPM. Now that's all well and good, but it doesn't stop me cranking too fast. So I've added this circuit here, and this is a little metronome circuit. So it just flashes a light once every, well, let's say 50 times a minute is basically what it's set to, something like that. And it's just a very simple electronic design. It came out of an old book, this one here, which dates from the 1970s, so it's not new tech at all. And this is actually connected at the minute to my bench power supply, but because this is generating electricity, and it's generating enough electricity to run this little circuit here, it will actually generate enough electricity to run this circuit here, so I can make the whole thing completely crank powered. For this test I'm going to use a record. This is a little Edison Bell radio called Tribute to Our Aero Heroine Amy, and this is quite suitable because there's quite a lot of singing on it, and it's possible to tell if it's being played at about the right speed. I've also got this for fine USB mic connected up to my phone over there, and for all other audio on this video I'm using my standard mic up there, which is connected to that Tascam recorder there. I've connected up two LEDs to this circuit, so you can see one flashing away there, but there's actually a wire that goes around the back, and it's also flashing there as well, so that might help me. And the idea really is that as I crank, I just make sure that for each turn of the crank the light blinks once, and it will blink at the same rate whether I crank fast or crank slow, so it's up to me to watch the light and try and get my crank going at the same rate. So I'm really looking for a flash at the same point in the rotation of the crank. So I'm going to connect this circuit up here now. So first of all I'm going to turn off power on that, and that LED will stop flashing. And then I think if we take the power from there, connect you up like that, and we do the same with the ground here. Quite tricky doing this actually. Don't normally use handheld cameras. So with a bit of luck, those two are now connected up, and generator is completely, or the bench power supply is completely out of the way and turned off. So I'm going to mount the cameras up, and we'll see if once I get enough voltage, then the light will start to flash. Oddly enough, the circuit's fairly crude, and the light can flash a little bit too fast when there's not enough voltage, and I don't really understand why, but I'm sure there's a very good reason. Right, well I've moved the phone, and you can see the phone here, and you can see my voice coming through on the phone, hopefully. And let's give it a go. Make sure all the cameras are running, make sure all the mics are on. So I'm going to start cranking. It won't be the right speed to start off with, but we'll see if the light actually comes on, and then whether I can get the cranking to be the same sort of speed as the lights going around.
I say, Chris, did you ever see so many men waiting for one girl? What's the bright idea, Harry? Why, we're waiting for Amy Johnson. Oh, that's it, is it? I say, old man, isn't she great? I think she's wonderful. And so they all over. No, she won't be long now, Harry. Ah, here she comes. Amy, wonderful Amy, we're proud of the way you flew. Believe me, Amy, you cannot blame me, Amy, for falling in love with you. There's a little lady who has captured every heart, Amy Johnson, it's you. We have watched and waited since the day you made your start, Amy Johnson, it's true. Since the news that you are safe has come along, everyone in town is singing this love song. Amy, wonderful Amy, how can you blame me for loving you? Since you've won the praise of every nation, you have filled my heart with admiration. Amy, wonderful Amy, I'm proud of the way you flew. Believe me, Amy, you cannot blame me, Amy, for falling in love with you. Amy, wonderful Amy, how can you blame me for loving you? Since you won the praise of every nation, you have filled my heart with admiration. Amy, wonderful Amy, we're proud of the way you flew. Believe me, Amy, you cannot blame me, Amy, for falling in love with you.
Okay, well I thought that went pretty well. It was really useful having this little light here on top. I was able to actually watch the little light flash, and as I moved the crank round, as I was sort of pulling up on the crank, the light would flash, and if I was managing to do that, then I knew I was cranking at about the right speed. And it did sound pretty good actually. I'll use the fine mic audio on the video, assuming it came out well, but looking at the phone it looks like it probably did. And if you have enjoyed this video, if you've liked this video, then please do give it a like. And if you have any comments or suggestions, and I know some of you have left suggestions on my previous version of this video when I originally built it, and I haven't yet acted on all of those, so thank you anyway for those. But if you've got any other thoughts or suggestions or comments of any description, then please do leave them. And also, if you have enjoyed this video, then maybe you'd like to watch this one too. So thanks for watching, and I shall see you in the next one.